What's good, YouTube, man? I appreciate you guys stopping by. Today, man, we got some news, man, about your boy Terrance Crawford, which is the WBO welterweight world champion. But before we get into this news, man, I'll do the three things for the man. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for updates and notifications to the channel. I would greatly appreciate that, man. It helps to grow the channel, man, as well as you won't miss the live stream, because I will be live streaming a lot of pay-per-view fights. But without further ado, let's get into it. Terrance Crawford, the former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, now current WBO welterweight world champion, and known for a lot of people say that he's the #1 pound for pound in the world, welterweight boxer. Recently has not been getting along with his promotional company, which is Top Rank. Owner Bob Arum, he stated that Bob Arum does not promote black fighters right. He doesn't know how to promote black fighters, and he's biased against black fighters. So right now, he's actually taking Bob Arum to court. Now, recently, a lot of guys been stepping forward. A lot of old boxers been stepping forward, man, and been making statements about and backing Bob Arum. Like Muhammad Ali's daughter came forward and said that Bob Arum is a good guy. You know, that is not Bob Arum, the way he's speaking on it. But before she came through, George Foreman came through and said it's not Bob Arum. You know what I mean? And that Terrance Crawford is Terrance Crawford's situation his fault. Or what's going on, because Terrance Crawford just don't want to take the fights, and he want to blame Bob Arum for it. And just recently, Tim Bradley made that same statement that Bob Arum is a good guy. And all these guys was under Bob Arum promotion company. Now, on the flip side of it, Mayweather was under Bob Arum at one point in time. He left, and there's a lot of other fighters that left from under Bob Arum, stating that Bob Arum's not fair, he's a crook. So it's kind of like a double-sided story. But with Bud Crawford, it was stated that Errol Spence had stated a while back that, hey, you can't make the fight, then blame Bob Arum. And at the time, it was like words in the air. But now Terrance Crawford actually says he sees what Errol Spence was talking about, because Errol Spence Bob Arum, Terrance Crawford has been trying to get an Errol Spence fight. Now, Errol Spence is the unified welterweight world champion, WBC, IBF unified welterweight world champion. And he'll be fighting Yordenis Ugas, who is the welterweight champion for the WBA, and to do another unification. Now, Terrance been trying to get this fight with Errol Spence for a very long time, but due to their promotional company, now Errol Spence, he's a he doesn't have a promotional. He has an advisor from the PBC. His PBC advisor, that maybe advises him of different stuff like that, but he doesn't have a promotional company to where it's holding him in a lock, where what's keeping him from making fights. Errol Spence can make whatever fight he wants to make. Now, before Terrance Crawford signed with Bob Arum again, because he was free agent a while back, and he re-signed with Bob Arum, and everybody was telling him, don't do that, sign with PBC. If you want to make the good fights, you need to sign with PBC and get out from under that hook that you're under. But Terrance Crawford stated that he only signed back with Bob Arum because they was going to put him on the shelf for his last fight, and he needed to stay active. He needed to stay in business and making money. They were going to put him on the shelf if he didn't sign an extension. Okay, he signed the extension. It recently ran out. And now that it's ran out, Terrance Crawford stating that Bob Arum did not give him the fights that he should have had, that he was being biased and wasn't promoting him as a black fighter right, and say he does not promote a black fighter. But a lot of people, like I said, Muhammad Ali was under Bob Arum at one point in time as well, and they say he did Muhammad Ali right, did him great. George Foreman is the great George Foreman. You guys know who George Foreman is. He came out and stated that Bob Arum is not a bad guy, and he done him right. And there's a lot of other black fighters that's with Bob Arum right now that say they're doing right. Of course, we don't know directly, because, of course, we're not Bob Arum. We don't know what happened behind the scenes with them. But the way I look at it, in my personal opinion now, is Terrance Crawford is a free agent. He has the opportunity to sign with PBC and Al Heyman or the Mayweather promotion. I would prefer him to sign with PBC. Reason being is because I haven't heard any complaints or any kind of negativity about how the PBC and Al Heyman run their boxes. As a matter of fact, Bob Arum tried to take the PBC and Al Heyman to court, stating that they overpay their fighters, which is causing them not to be able to get fighters. And I don't get, how can you overpay a fighter? If anything, you pay a fighter what you want to pay that fighter, which if you feel is fair, you pay that fighter whatever you feel is fair. But we do want to see the best fights, man. So hopefully they can clear this up, and we can try to get things on the roll with Terrance Crawford because he's a good guy. He's like I say, he's WBO welterweight world champion, 38-0. He just beat Sean Porter, which Sean Porter's a dog fighter. You know what I mean? He actually stopped Sean Porter. The first time Sean Porter has ever been stopped, he actually stopped him. And so that states that he has the caliber to do what he needs to do to go where he needs to go in his boxing game. But I guess his promotional company, you find somewhere where you fit. You know, I'm not saying Bob Arum's a bad guy. I don't directly know, but I know Bob Arum has been with a lot of boxers that don't like the way he rock. You know, don't feel like he don't push them like he's supposed to. So Terrance Crawford probably has some ground here, but on the flip side of it, you can only blame yourself if you stay with a promotional company that does not promote you how you see fit of promoting. You also have to promote yourself. You also have to stand up and make sure people know who you are, and put your face on the scene with, like, you know, with a strong character behind, like basically, hey, this is me, talk some shit or whatever it is you need to do, but you need to promote yourself so that you can make the great fight, the big fights. Bob Arum stated that he's lost so much money behind Terrance Crawford that he can build a mansion in Beverly Hills from the ground up, from scratch. See, that's how much money he lost from Terrance Crawford. And a lot of the fights that he didn't get for Terrance Crawford was because he said Terrance Crawford's not a draw. He doesn't pull that much of a crowd to be asking for the money that he's asking for these fights. It's only a loss. It will be only a loss for Bob Arum and whatever the ESPN or whatever that's backing him, because they don't see that they can make a return on their investment. Another instance where, you know, Terrance Crawford could have made the fight with Errol Spence, but Terrance was demanding a 50-50 fight. Now, normally, if the accolades were the same, then it would be the same. But Errol Spence Jr. is a unified champion in the welterweight division. He has been in the welterweight division, and he has dominated a lot in the welterweight division. Not only that, when Errol Spence do pay-per-view fights, the fights sell out. They sell out big time. When Terrance Crawford does pay-per-view fights, they don't sell that good. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm bringing the draw, I'm the power, and I'm not going to give you 50-50 on my hard-earned work, which I can completely understand that. Now, being Terrance Crawford's position, he was offered 60-40, which I think is a great split. You know, I'm not the boxer, so it's not my decision, but I think it was a great split. Had he took that 60-40 and he felt like he could have dominated Errol Spence, he should have done that, because once you beat him, you become the man. Now, you can demand what you want to demand, but you got to crawl before you walk. You got to get up there. And you came from junior welterweight as a unified welterweight world champion. I mean, undisputed junior welterweight world champion. So I believe he has the potential to do what he needs to do. But when you come to another weight class, you have to prove yourself in that weight class. You have to go and kick ass or dominate that scene, and then the coin flips and you become the man. Same thing with Floyd Mayweather. Before Floyd Mayweather became a major star, he was Pretty Boy Floyd. He fought Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya had some crazy ass demands. Floyd made all those demands, like even 70-30 or 70-30 to 80-20, something like really crazy. He had to fight with smaller ring. He had to fight where Oscar wanted to fight, because Oscar was the number one. He was the A side. He was the man. But Floyd understood the game, and Floyd said, if I beat the man, I become the man. So I'm going to take these demands, because when I whoop your ass, I'm the man now. And that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. Floyd became the man, and you know history has shown what kind of thing it does. But I'd like for you guys, like, keep up with me, man. Y'all come in my live streams, because Errol Spence will be fighting Udays Ugas. I will be live streaming that fight. We also have, who else we got coming up here? We got Oscar Valdez versus Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson is a bad man. He's a WBO champion in his weight class. So hopefully, you know, hopefully we can get that fight. My computer screen went blank. I had like information on it. My computer screen went blank, so I'll have to catch up back with it. But we'll do that on another video, man. Like I say, you gotta do 3 things for me: like, subscribe, and hit that bell for updates, notifications to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it, man. And I will be live streaming a lot of these fights, or I'll show you exactly where to get them from, where they'll be at, because I'll actually be broadcasting on a different station somewhere, and I'll tell you which station I'm using, which account I'm using, and you'll be able to go and check it out, man. I appreciate you guys stopping by again. Like I say, this is your boy Dean's Controversial Boxing, man, and I'll talk to you later, man. Peace.